Hello, welcome in. Get out the cold. Remember, shoes off at the front door. Get some snacks and come take a seat and join us here in the Music Shack with both
Ray, hi.
and Jack. Hi, we're going to pretend like that wasn't like the second time we've done that. We're back with another episode. The week of the Grammys happening at the weekend. So just instantly right at the start, keep an eye out for like soon, because there'll be like a reaction to our Grammy stuff going on. And if you see this before the Grammys, our prediction video's out, so go check that out as well.
Yeah, our prediction video's out, so we released a bonus episode this week on the Grammys because it's Grammys week, it's crazy, it's literally my Super Bowl. Literally a music fan's Super Bowl, which is crazy. Anyway. And maybe the Super Bowl is also now a music fan's Super Bowl. But anyway.
How the worlds have collided.
The point is that we released a Grammys prediction video. We'll be talking about that, and we'll next week we'll be talking about what happened at the Grammys for sure. We might even do outfit talk because outfit talk is fun.
Yep, that is fun. That's the most, honestly, that sometimes is the funnest part of it.
And if you're looking for a place to watch the Grammys, which is happening on Sunday very soon, check out our Discord. The link is in the description of this video. Or just, if you can't find the link, just go to @MusicShack on Twitter and tweet and be like, hey, I need the Discord link, and somebody will help you. Somebody on our intern team will help you.
Someone we've definitely got on our payroll. We're both struggling ourselves, but it's fine. We have definitely someone on our payroll.
Our dedicated social media manager. Yes. Anyway, but yeah, thanks for watching. We got some good feedback on the Grammys video so far, so definitely go watch that if you haven't. So we have some hot takes.
Yeah, we really divided the community right there. Just
Okay, well, let's get into it. I did briefly mention the Super Bowl earlier. We don't usually talk about Taylor's love life, which is funny, but this is a little bit different, kind of. So, and also, we don't talk about controversial topics, we just talk about music, but there's nothing to talk about this week, so we're going to be stupid and crazy and talk about controversial things.
Look at us go.
So, the Super Bowl is happening the week after the Grammys, and Taylor's going to be in Tokyo. She's also probably going to come back to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl because her boyfriend Travis is playing in the Super Bowl, which is incredible. Kind of, I'm obsessed with this script, to be honest.
It's been such a strange year since all this happened, but it's I don't know, just getting to see them having, it seems like they're both just fully winning and just having the best time ever, and it's just been genuinely the best time.
I vividly remember last year, because last year Rihanna played in the Super Bowl halftime show, and I was so excited. She slayed that, by the way. But I was so excited to watch her in the halftime show, and I just was I'm not watching the fucking football game, so I just told my friends, can you just ping me when the halftime show starts? And so they did that, and I just watched the halftime show, and then I left and watched Zero Football, and then last week I was watching football for real for some reason. But they barely even showed Taylor. But for some reason, the men are still crying that the Swifties saved their favorite sport.
I'd be embarrassed. I think it's one of those things that people can't even take a step back to realize how much this is bringing eyes onto the Super Bowl again, or the NFL and everything again. It might be silly to them because they don't realize I don't know, but I don't know, if you look at it, the main Taylor isn't even shown that much. She is there's definitely days where she's shown a lot, and it's come on, this let her watch the game without being watched. But it's it's also a good time because it also allows the NFL to get more eyes
to
on
make
it.
money.
Yeah.
So there's this tweet that the NFL and the Chiefs have made $355 million off of Taylor Swift, which is crazy to say the least. I think I think like if you're a fan of football and you were a fan of football before this, I think that it's actually like important to remember. And if you are a Swiftie who has become a fan of football, you should think about what it is like for you if you like a smaller artist, which you probably do, when your favorite small artist blows up and has a viral TikTok song and it all of a sudden feels like they're not just yours anymore and everyone's starting to like them. And that's probably how those football fans feel. So I think it's easy to be, and they also probably think, oh, these Swifties don't understand the sport like I do. And there's definitely some people, not me and Jack, but some people who have like used this as an opportunity to learn about football and to like get into it. I still like, I'm more interested in football than I was before, but by no means am I like all of a sudden so super invested in it. But I know that there are people who are like that. And I think it's just important to remember that, like, you know how it feels when your favorite thing is infiltrated by other people. So just be nice to them. Unless they're being dicks, then don't be nice to them. But otherwise, be nice to them.
No, can she just come on our podcast and just like help us also like have like 350 million?
Oh my god, imagine. Yeah, Taylor, join the podcast. We would love to have you on, honestly.
Not even for the money, that would just be, I don't think any of us would be able to talk. I think we'd genuinely the whole time be like open
I
mouse,
would be
like
so scared.
Just unafraid.
And,
We'd have to get like our like, we'd have to get Dylan in here to like associate, like to fully like have the conversation while we just sit in awe.
I'd literally that's not something I need to think about. If that ever happens, I think I'll freak out. Or if like we get invited to like a secret session because of this podcast, like I think I would vomit. Us saying these things like when we don't get like 10 viewers on our YouTube videos. Share this with your friends.
Yeah, one of them is Taylor, though. That's the thing.
Then we'll give all of you guys clout too. When we're famous,
yeah,
you'll also be famous. That's how it works.
So true. Yeah, famous by extension. Oh no, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like you're right in saying like it's when you look at it the way we look at like our favorite small artists and stuff getting like seen by a huge amount of like eyes that they previously weren't. It must feel similar. We sometimes, and there's people that will be like, oh well, we can go about it better, but I don't think we can, because there's definitely like ways that we've been like reactive in terms, like if you put it into comparison with them, it's like it's the same kind of thing. It's just in a different environment, but
it's just in a different environment, and it is slightly more hostile and competitive because like sports are more inherently like that.
Yeah.
But just be nice. And I think one thing I want to talk about is Usher is performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. We don't care about Usher. They asked him because nobody else would say yes. But supposedly Taylor has been asked like to play in the Super Bowl halftime show for the last like 5 or 6 years now, and has said no every single time. She's going to be asked again next year, like guarantee it. My wonder is she going to say yes this time because she has connections now, like more so than because I would be interested in seeing a Taylor halftime show. I think it would be fun, like a 15-minute televised performance. She'd do a bunch of mashups, but
can you just imagine like the design and everything of it would be, like how extravagant and like cool it would be?
She would probably play like one song from every era, which would be crazy. And then she'd have like 3 layered outfits that she like takes off the layers in between the eras.
That's like the dream. It's like you're getting me so excited just about seeing this experience.
It's like a mini Eras tour.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she will say yes. Like when you look at it, you sort of have to think like, why has she said no all these like previous times? Like there must be a reason.
So I've heard on Twitter that the reason that she said no is because like halftime show is sponsored by Pepsi, and she has a sponsorship with Coca-Cola, so it would be like a conflict
Does
of
she
interest
still
or
have
whatever.
that?
But I don't think she still has the Coca-Cola
I've not seen her drink a Diet
sponsorship.
Cola in forever.
Yeah, I don't know if she still has that sponsorship. So if she doesn't have that sponsorship anymore, then she could do it. But it's also like, no offense to the people who have performed in the halftime show at the Super Bowl, but performing at the halftime show in the Super Bowl is like something that you do near the end of your career and not at the peak of your career. And if Taylor, like, it's weird to say that Taylor's in the peak of her career when, like, to me, this should be, like, in my head, like, if you asked me in 2019 and you're like, what is Taylor doing in 2024? I'm like, yeah, she'll be, like, nearing the end of her career. Like, that'll be it for her, right? But we're not in that timeline, which is, like, weird to think about. But like you think about like I think the only exception to that in the past is Beyonce, who has performed at the Super Bowl twice, and was more so in the peak of her career, especially the first time she performed. Like Usher, who the fuck listens to Usher? But like, people like that. I mean, like the point of the Super Bowl halftime show is someone gets up there who plays a bunch of radio songs that everybody knows, and that's it. Like,
yeah,
which Taylor can do. I mean, she has the catalog to play a 15-minute set and for every single person to know every single song, right?
no, she's just gonna go up there and play all too well 10-minute version and then one other song. It's gonna be all too well 10-minute version and me. Original version of me.
No. It's just gonna be her in her surprise song dress, and she's just in her piano. And honestly, that would kind of be iconic.
But it's just like it's the spelling is kids what the spelling is fun kids version.
That's amazing.
And you just have the whole like Super Bowl like audience like, hey kids, spelling is fun. Like I don't know, I can just imagine it, but. I used to be a believer that Taylor would stop at 13 albums, but it's just like you said, like she's just not at that point anymore. Like it's.
I mean, she's only on 10. I would say 3 more, especially if like after re-recording she slows down a lot and does like 1 album every 2 years, like her old cycle. I would say 13 is probably what she's gonna go to.
I just can't see her stopping. I genuinely can't.
I honestly, for the longest time, like pre all of this, like her blowing up, I thought, like when we found out like re-recordings were gonna happen and stuff, I thought like Taylor was gonna do, especially like after Evermore. I was like, okay, Taylor, like, and then after Evermore we had like Fearless Taylor's version. I was like, okay, Taylor's gonna do a re-recording every 3 to 6 months. She'll release a new re-recording. She'll go through all of the re-recordings, and then she'll release her final album, and she'll have 10 albums, and that'll be it. That's what I thought for the longest time, and now here we are. So, you know.
Yeah.
But she's I don't think Taylor's gonna retire until she absolutely like has to. She's not that kind of person, and I think it's like, we shouldn't speculate it, but we'll see.
And she also can't until we get the chance to meet her, so better go for hundreds of years at this point, because they're looking to
so valid.
It's the solo.
Speaking of performances, though, at the Grammys, there are a bunch of people performing. It was rumored that Taylor's gonna perform for like 30 seconds. You know where I think that this rumor started? So I was watching the Chiefs game on Sunday, the AFC Championship game, and they came back from commercial and they like zoomed in on Taylor, and they were like, watch the Grammys on Sunday on CBS, and because the game was also on CBS, so like same channel, they're gonna promote, and then they were like, there's Taylor Swift, she's gonna be there too. And And then I think people were like, oh my God, she's going to perform. Like, no, they literally just said she's going to be there. Like, which
Oh,
we all already knew.
is that the clip where she's like looking? She sees them. She's on the like
Yeah.
prompter. And she's like, "Why are they on me?" And she's like, "Oh, it's the Grammys." Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's it. Cause like I think the way it works, like they're in the box, and so there's a TV in the box that's showing the game, so
Mhm.
she can see what they're showing in that TV, and then obviously she can see the game on the field as well. But she can see that they're showing her, so she like looks at the TV and she's like, "Oh my God, it's me!" And she's like staring at it, like,
Yeah.
when is the camera gonna leave so I can act normal again? And she's like, why are they on me for so long? And then like the Grammys, like, what's it called, like the thing at the bottom comes up with like the big ad that about the Grammys. Then she goes,
Yeah.
oh, Grammys. She like finally realizes that, like, oh, they're on me because they're talking about something about my career, not about Travis Kelce or something stupid, which is pretty normal, to be fair.
Oh, it's a crazy time on NFL at the minute.
It is crazy. But Billie Eilish is going to perform, which she'll probably perform What Was I Made For. Olivia Rodrigo is going to perform. I assume she'll either do Vampire or Get Him Back. I don't know.
Get
What do
him
you think,
back.
Olivia?
I want to hear get him back.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. Dua Lipa, Dance the Night Away maybe, or maybe her new single. She has a new single, right?
Yeah, it's what's it? Is it Houdini or that was the older
Yeah.
one? I don't know if that's the new one or if there is a new one.
No, I think it's just Houdini.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it was weird because I'd seen the stuff about her not doing like a performance, but then I seen the stuff after that about her doing one, and I was like, "What one's right?" And then I realized it was like the way they'd done it was really strange, but it was like that she's not like gonna be.
Yeah.
Doing
And then Joni Mitchell is also going to be performing. But I'm surprised that Taylor's not performing. SZA's not performing. Who else was like nominated and isn't performing? Like Lana Del Rey's not performing.
BB
Like
or Boy Genius.
Boy Genius not performing. Like, I'm just surprised that there's a lot of people who were nominated who just aren't performing, but I can get it, I guess. I'm sure it'll be good regardless. Join the Discord to watch. The other thing that we wanted to talk about this week, is going to be a shorter episode, was UMG and TikTok, which I think is a really interesting topic. Jack, do you wanna talk about it?
Yeah, so we had this news break. I believe so. I seen it this morning, so it must have been last night because it's all American based and stuff. So it was that TikTok and UMG didn't meet an agreement with how they sort of like use the artist music on the platform. So they've come to like this final like thing that UMG is going to pull out from their artist music from TikTok, from being used on TikTok. This is through like using the sounds or like songs or anything like that. So it takes away a lot of like it takes away a lot of like chance for virality from artists, which is like a conversation to have, but it's also UMG doesn't do a lot right, but I really like that they're standing their ground here because they are really up for getting a solution to AI content and like AI songs and fake AI music and like things like that, because it was a really big problem for like a lot of their artists last year, and they're also like they wanted like payment for their artists as well through these like streams and stuff through the app and through TikTok, and they didn't get that. So there's a couple of sources, and it's I'll read TikTok's like statement first, which is a little bit weird how they worded it, and I just don't really like how they've done it. But it says, statement in response to Universal Music Group. It is sad and disappointing that Universal Music Group has put their own greed above the interests of their artists and songwriters. Despite Universal's false narrative and rhetoric, the fact that is they have chosen to walk away from the powerful support of a platform with well over 1 billion users that serves a free promotional and discovery vehicle for their talent. TikTok has been able to reach artist-first agreements with every other label and publisher, Clearly, Universal's self-serving actions are not in the best interests of their artists, songwriters, and fans. And then, in response, it says, also according to UMG, during the negotiations, the ByteDance-owned social giant demanded a contractual right which would allow AI content to massively dilute the royalty pool for human artists, while developing tools to enable, promote, and encourage AI music creation on the platform itself, which UMG states it's nothing short of sponsoring AI artist replacement by AI, which is correct. I don't know how you feel about this.
I think it's increasingly important to remember. I mean, like, UMG is such a big label. Like, they have Taylor's music. They have so many artists under UMG. Like, this is essentially eradicating majority of the sounds on TikTok. Even if TikTok was able to get agreements with the other labels, which I agree, I think both sides are trying to execute like their power on each other. Like, other labels don't have the catalog that UMG does, so TikTok has power over them. Those labels are like, we need TikTok more than we need like more money for our artists.
Yeah.
But UMG has, because of how big they are, has the power to fight for artists and artists to be like paid fairly for their music being used in things that other people are making money off of, right? Which is inherent in TikTok's algorithm. But I think it's this weird battle of like, we have the thing that makes a lot of your content go viral, and then that's what TikTok is saying, and then like UMG is being like, well, like on the other side, like a lot of you wouldn't have a platform without our music, right? And I think fighting for artist rights, especially the AI situation, like AI, especially on TikTok where it's like short form content, I think it's really easy to just like have an AI sound take over. And I think it's important to have that contracted with the labels to make sure that like sounds from UMG artists aren't being used to enable that. I don't know. I personally agree. I'm on the side of UMG with this. I think artists deserve to be paid wherever their music is being used and be paid fairly for it. And TikTok is a big reason why we can discover music, but at the end of the day, they're not the only platform where music discovery exists. And if TikTok doesn't want their music, there's plenty of other short form video platforms that will take their music and probably pay them fairly, like Instagram, for an example.
Yeah. I've just had a thought. I don't know how this is going to affect. So Taylor's been really using TikTok as like the main way of like reaching fans and everything. And I wonder if UMG are going to ask her to not use it as much, or like...
So she did use it a lot, and she has a little bit, but ever since she broke up with Joe, her usage has gone down a lot on TikTok. And she started to actually like interact with Reels a little bit more. But, and like Instagram posts and even tweets. But ever since she started dating Travis, like the Twitter thing stopped because NFL weirdos were being weird on Twitter. Twitter's like the main place where people are like mad about her involvement in the NFL, so she doesn't really go interact with people on Twitter. So Instagram's like the main place I've seen, to be honest, recently. But you're right that like TikTok is especially like right before her and Joe broke up, and like right when the Eras tour was starting, it was a big thing for Taylor. I think it's I think that's an interesting topic, because obviously Taylor's not the only UMG artist that's like using TikTok. I mean, there's plenty of artists who like we pretty much like every single viral sound like is because of TikTok. And
Yeah.
I don't I think personally, like for me as a fan of music, that is good. I don't like TikTok viral songs because oftentimes there's like you can tell that certain songs are made to go viral on TikTok and not because they're made to be just like good, well written songs. And we've talked about this before with other music. Um, it's like this is meant to be a sound that like shocks people and gets them to want to listen to the rest of the song. But like
Yeah.
the song is like whatever. Kate's Brother is a really good example of that. And honestly, if this situation kills that, I am happy. Like I literally do not want to listen to TikTok music made for a 30-second TikTok clip any longer.
It's well, you were saying about viral sounds. There's a really big one right now, and it's because of the Salt Burn movie,
Oh yeah.
which is Murder on the Dance Floor by Sophie Ellis Bextor. And it's
Oh yeah.
it's they're also not going to be now on there, so that's crazy. That's you realize how big their catalogue is. Like, I'll read a couple off the now: the Beatles, Elton John, Rihanna, Pink Floyd, Eminem, Mariah Carey, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Drake, Justin Bieber, U2, Katy Perry, Jay-Z, like Adele, Bon Jovi, Nicki Minaj, Guns N' Roses, Sonata, and like Backstreet Boys. Like, there's so many people, and that's only like a list of like 20 of them, and there's like hundreds
Yeah,
more.
it's crazy. It's like you think about those, like just the artists that you listed, Jack, like that is like pretty much the biggest artist in the world. Like
Oh, and Olivia and
period.
BTS. So there you go. Yeah, like you're fully
Yeah.
taking away like yeah.
Like majority, like so much, like think about like TikTok and how many videos they have on TikTok and like how many of those videos are going to have to get muted because of this. Like surely that's like a huge problem for TikTok. Well, not just a problem for TikTok, it's a really big problem for creators. Like you know how creators like put like a song like really quiet in the background of TikToks for like discovery?
Yeah.
Those TikToks are going to get entirely muted, right? Like that's crazy to think.
It's I somehow don't think they're gonna go through with it. I think they're gonna have to come to an agreement because once TikTok realizes like how big they obviously know how big the catalog is, but it just doesn't. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a
I
lot.
think that TikTok doesn't realize because like they're not Google or Meta like who have experience and already have pre-existing like like YouTube, for example, who has YouTube Shorts, has a pre-existing agreement with every single label already. I mean, they have music videos on their platform and everything as well, but they all have. So for them to do shorts, it's just an extension of their current agreement. They have a relationship. TikTok doesn't have any relationship with these labels, and they need to build that. And I think TikTok maybe doesn't have the experience to recognize that UMG can't be treated like every other label that they have maybe worked with in the past, because UMG recognizes the power that they hold over TikTok, and they're going to ask for what they want, and they're going to fight for the rights of the artists that they have, which is honestly shocking for UMG, let's be honest.
Yeah,
But
I'm
they will.
surprised.
And they're going to do that because that's important to them, and you have to give them something if you want their music on your platform. You can't just be like stubborn about it, because you as TikTok, they don't hold the same power over UMG that they do with other smaller labels who actually need TikTok for their company to stay afloat, essentially.
No, you're right. Yeah. I don't know. We'll keep you posted if there's any more updates, but it's one of those things. It's like a really interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know it was going on until I seen the posts and stuff this morning. So it's just.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. There's some new music that's out. Which we always love to recommend you guys at the end of the podcast. Jack, you wanna?
Me? Oh my gosh, thank you. So we have 2 artists. One that we know for sure. One that we're a little that's only happened today. So we have Cate with 2 singles of Rocket Science and You Don't Love Me. So that's just Cate. So CATE. Very like iconic, up and coming. Has grown quite a lot actually in the last couple of months, and it's really cool to see. So you won't regret listening to them. And then we also have Lizzy McAlpine, who has recently changed all like profile pictures on like Twitter and stuff to this like foresty green like colour, just like blank colour, with a post that says announcement coming tomorrow. And Lizzie's so sick. Like Lizzie's music is awesome.
That I am excited. So
I don't know if it's going to be tour or if it's going to be new music, but it's been a while since new music, so I think it's new music.
Well, we will talk about that in a future episode, so stay tuned. I think that's it. I mean, sorry it's short this week. We didn't prepare any other segments, unfortunately, which we probably should have, but next time.
It's actually okay. We're going to aim in now for 30 minutes for an episode, and it's like raw recording's 32, so it'll probably be around 30. So it's actually not that bad, and it's kind of this new thing allows us to like sort of have a little bit more freedom with it, because we'd sometimes have to miss episodes if there wasn't a much going on, but now we can sort of still fill
just chat shit for 30 minutes about random stuff like we did today, which we hope you enjoyed.
And watch our predictions and come join the watch party, and then watch us
tune in next week.
There's so much coming, but just
so
thank you so much for watching. Join our Discord thing, our socials, and if you're on any podcast platform, give us like a rating or anything like that as well. But
we appreciate it.
I hope you have a nice week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.